Could you feed a family of 8 completely from the wild, just with what you're able to forage or catch or locate? More importantly, could I feed a family of 8? We're about to find out. We found this out yesterday, guys. We were checking on the sheep. We were looking at them. Pinky Pepper said, hey, she was looking at the bags and some stuff, milk bags on some of these other sheep, and she thought there was another one that may be pregnant. So I'm looking this morning and I'm checking on the last 3 that we expected. And I'm looking, Recess has her 2, Lavender has her 1, Apocalypse, and I looked over here before I saw Apocalypse and I'm like, oh look, one got out. Mrs. Hook had a baby, and she's one that we just figured out was pregnant the other day. We pretty much went by sight for a while ago, and we said, okay, these ones look like they got pregnant. These ones do not look like they got pregnant. And the ones that didn't look like they got pregnant was Crazy Horns. I forget her name. Twilight. Crazy Horns, the daughter of Crazy Horns, and Dodge is in the background, and Mrs. Hook. So we had them with Dodge just to give them an extra opportunity, and we thought, hey, if it takes them a little longer to have a baby, you know, if they have it a little later in the year, that is fine. Children, we're gonna put her in with the other 2 mamas. So we're gonna go open that gate. I'm gonna let these guys out for a second. You guys, come here. I'm gonna let you out. Come here. Come on out. Go out. Come in. Look, it's open. Come on out, guys. Come here. Meh. Meh. Come on. Meh. 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 There you go. Now you guys are out. I'll put you back in a minute. Children, we're just going to get this gate open. What do you think? Can you see the forehead? Ram or you?
You.
You. I think it looks like a ram's forehead to me.
Yeah?
Yep. Mrs. Hook. So you guys, I'm going to open this up, and you guys are just going to walk around, and we'll call this the nursery for right now. Red Pepper, just come and scoop up this baby quick. It's pretty wet and fresh, but she'll follow the baby.
Oh, it's that.
Pinky, step out. Pinky, walk to the gate. What do you think?
You.
It's a you.
I told you it was a you. I didn't see anything back then. I was hoping it was a you.
Come and wash your hands.
Yeah, it was a you.
So look at that, guys. That's a bonus for us. We weren't sure. We were thinking, well, I mean, just yesterday, Pinky was noticing she had a pretty good belly on her. It looked like she had, her milk was starting to come into play. And she thought, oh, you know what? She got pregnant too, which is really good. We were hoping she would reproduce. All right, guys, Papa Pepper, that was a bonus. That was not part of this video or part of the scope of this video. It's just as we were heading out this morning, we saw that. We're not eating the baby lamb. Since it's a ewe, we're not even probably going to. Normally we eat the rams and leave the ewes be, right, child? Mm-hmm. But with everything going on lately, a lot of people are kind of terrified. A lot of people are having trouble. A lot of people dread going to the grocery store more than I dread my hair. And when they get there, a lot of shelves are empty. It doesn't take much. Like if they stopped having truck drivers, UPS guys and FedEx guys and others running around this country, there would be no food anywhere on shelves. But as I look out into the wild, there's food everywhere. And even abandoned city lots, there's food everywhere. I have 6 children and 1 wife. That means we are a family of 8. And food is not hard to come by. And it's times before things really get bad that I think people, as I mentioned in my 10 things you should have done already video, is to get familiar with the wild edibles in your area. And if you start incorporating them into your diet, getting used to the seasons they grow in, the locations they grow in, the look of them, the flavor of them, the smell of them, and you start slowly incorporating them into your diet, you get a taste for them. And if things go really bad, you can turn to living off of that, I believe. And if you watch a lot of survival stuff, sometimes people have a hard time just off of the greens and the flowers getting enough, nutrients to really keep their body alive, without adding, fruit or meat or real vegetables. And that can be difficult, but I'll tell you what, not everyone likes the taste of some of the wild edibles either, but I think they taste better than starvation. And I'm just gonna throw that out there. So my goal today is just to make a pure wild meal. I'm gonna get some fish, hopefully, with my daughter. She came out yesterday with a couple of us, and we didn't get any, or she didn't get any fish. They didn't tell me till she got home, and I'm like, well, we gotta fix that. So she can come with me, we'll get some fish, and then I'm gonna collect some wild edibles, and I'm pretty much just gonna fire roast the fish, collect the wild edibles, kind of make like a fish salad. No dressing, no seasoning, no nothing, everything wild. And I think that not only will it feed us, but the family will eat it. So the premise of this video is, can I feed a family of 8 from the wild? And will they eat it? That's what we're working on. It's all pretty simple, but people are interested in this stuff, especially now. And hopefully this is just the preliminary run. Hopefully this is just the test run to make people consider more and kind of get prepared for the future. You ready to go? Look at all those turtles on that log. Turtles are my favorite creature. And sometimes people ask me why. And I say, well, because I like them more than all the other creatures. That's how favorites work. If something tugs, set the hook back and keep it afloat. That's a fish, but it's not very big. You got one, go, jerk! Get it up, jerk, reel, bring it in. Keep going, reel, get out short. Oh! Look at that. You caught it. Walk to the camera. Woohoo! Okay guys, she didn't get skunked today. She's helping provide food for her family. Let's get that in the bucket here and see if we can get another one. Guys, that was crazy. Right after I shut off the camera, got her fish unhooked, cast it back out there. Oh, it's off already? I caught a yellow belly bullhead. I haven't caught one of these since probably the Wisconsin River way up north by Tomahawk or something. This is a bullhead, not even a catfish, a bullhead. That is crazy. I haven't seen one of those in years. We'll wind up letting this guy go. We don't eat them, but wow, ouch. And he got me. Just like catfish, they've got a spine on their back and one on each side. So I'm holding it by the two on its sides right now, but they can poke you with those, and if you get poked by them, just rub the wound on their belly, and that's how it makes it feel better. Wow. A bullhead. I haven't seen one of these in years. Okay. I didn't have time to turn on the camera because I needed to grab the net, but she just landed this bass. They've got to be 15 to keep. It looks about 14. I'm just going to check it. And wow, how was that?
It was fun.
Was it a good fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? If we could eat it, do you want to eat it? All right, we'll find out. So this one's going to be a let it go and let it grow because it's just over 14 inches. Turn it sideways again. Let me see how big that is. Yeah, just over 14. They got to be 15 to keep. Let's go put it back and see if you can get a bigger one.
Good.
Good job though. So this is what we're actually looking for. Thankfully, Sweet Pepper was able to get it. I'm just gonna get a couple decent ones like this is the goal. And then we'll have to start foraging for some other edibles besides fish. What do you got, girl? You know what kind of fish that is?
No.
It's a bluegill. Big bluegill. See how blue its face is? Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Jerk, pull, get, go! You got it! Bring it in! Girl, thank you for helping to provide food for your family. Wow. Well, I got some good news. We found a honey hole right as we were about to leave. I only had about 2 fish.
Huh?
We did get this carp. That was fun, and then we got a good amount of nice size red-eared sunfish, actually. So if you're getting fish like this, that's pretty good, especially for a sunfish. Yeah, there's another one there. So we're gonna get these home, and we're going to get some wild edibles, and we're gonna see if we can feed this family. You ready? Mm-hmm. Was it fun? Mm-hmm. What I got in my hand, now this is a source I trust. It is kind of not too far from the road, but I'm pretty familiar with the area, and I'm pretty sure these haven't been treated with any pesticides. They smell amazing. I got a good handful. I'm not only gonna add some to the salad, but I'm gonna use some for something else that may surprise you guys. Check this out. So a little closer to home now, but a couple cool things going on here. One is there's all of this all around me, and there's this. I don't know if this is naturalized, if it's from some ancient garden that escaped or what, but this is lemon balm. I'm not going to use it in the salad that I'm actually cooking, but I am going to grab some to use, and I'll show you how I use that in a minute. And then I'm going to take some of these, I think there's some sort of wild garlic, maybe a wild elephant garlic. I'm going to pull some of those up because I want to transplant some onto my land. This is off my land here a little bit, but and I also want to use some in what I'm cooking. So I'm gonna grab these and then I'm gonna head back. So a cool thing too, the ones that I pull up and actually remove that keep the bulb on them, I can plant. The ones that snap off, well, they'll regrow here, but these will be the ones I can use for my meal. And that seems like a good amount for right now. And then with this lemon balm, I'm just pinching off the tips. So it'll keep growing from the root. It'll have some smaller leaves down farther to kind of still support the root, and it'll still be just fine. Just pinch that off, and we're good to go. So at this point, I'm still working on some landscaping with my little garden pond, and wild edibles that are native to the area are one of the things I'm incorporating into the landscaping. So I'm gonna put a number of these in, and then I'll have to find some more wild edibles to add to that salad. And this is my papaya tree. Overwintered that in the bathroom, grew it from seed last year. I'm thinking I may be able to get fruit off of it this year.
Yeah.
Oh, and this, if you're a Raphael from the Ninja Turtles fan, one of my favorite gardening tools for a lot of different plants. Works great on stuff like this. This is one of the minnows we tried using for bait. It's just going to be duck or chicken food now, but look at how beautiful that creature is. I wish they had big ones like a foot long around here that look like that. That's amazing. You go feed that to the chickens for me? Thank you, Bucker. So these are the wild edibles I got right now. I've got some lemon balm and chives, and then some of this wild garlic greens, scapes. I'm gonna get some other ones for the salad type thing. I'm gonna use some of this and maybe a little bit of chives, but the main reason for the chives in this is actually gonna be to season the fish. I'm just gonna fire roast the fish. I'm gonna use this as a seasoning, so I'll show you how I do that in a minute. So as we went out today, We were just about to quit. Sweet Pepper had caught this one, and we had one other one that was maybe a decent sized fish, and that was about it. Then we just laid into a honey hole right at our feet. We were casting over it the whole time, started catching some like this, and all I'm gonna do for cooking these, let's see what I got. I've got 3, looks like I got 6. 3 bluegills and 3 green sunfish, or sorry, 3 bluegills and 3 red-eared sunfish. I got 6 fish. All I'm gonna do is this. Take them, come around, bugger. Cut down behind the head right behind their flap there. About here you hit the spine. Gonna go down through that. Once you're through the spine, you can pretty much just pull, and the head and the guts will pretty much come right out. Take your finger, insert it there, and pull it back. So this is what I'm going to be using, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut back a little bit deeper. I'm going to debone this and pull the meat off of it. I'm actually going to leave the scales on for when I cook it. I'm just going to take my knife, cut deeper than the cavity normally would be, stick it all the way back as I can get it towards the tail. So right now the tip of my knife is right there, and open it up a little bit. So lemon pepper is a pretty common, you know, flavoring, and a lot of times when people eat fish they have lemon with it. So I'm gonna use this lemon balm, and this is an experiment. I've never done this before. Stuff that lemon balm in there, take a couple of these chives. I want them to be able to release all their chivy goodness. I'm gonna kind of beat them up a little bit first. Take them, stuff them in there too. Use the knife, work it in there pretty good. I mean, it smells fantastic right now. Maybe stuff a little more of that lemon balm in there. So these will be rinsed off, and then I'm just gonna put on a bed of coals over the fire. There's actually a lump where all the meat is. So I'm gonna make up 6 of those. Hopefully that'll season it, and we'll find out. Hey guys, look, more of my favorite animals. Those are turtles, right, Bugger?
Yeah.
So they're box turtles. The top one we found on our land, and the bottom one was on the drive home just off our property. So pretty cool turtles, huh?
Yeah.
They kind of act more like tortoises in that they're a terrestrial turtle. So they use water sometimes to regulate their bodies, but they're not aquatic turtles by any means. But beautiful paint jobs on them. And you gotta be careful or they'll close with your finger right inside their shell. Did that ever happen to you?
Yeah.
Did he pinch your finger?
No.
Yesterday, did he?
Yeah.
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
So we're gonna let these ones just mosey around the property. They eat a variety of things, but they actually prefer living stuff, so they can be part of our organic pest control posse. So I stuffed some in through the back of these two because that's where the most of the meat is. So these guys should be pretty good. I've got my fire started. I got some pretty big logs in there that are gonna be the ones I use as the coals. I'll probably build something up with the remnants of this rock here, and then put a grill on top of it. Once I get a nice bed of coals to do these, and while this fire is preparing for this, I am going to go forage up the rest of my wild edibles, and I think it'll be pretty good pretty soon. Pinky Pepper, you know that tree looks beautiful with those flowers on. What are you doing?
Them so we can eat them in our salad.
Picking them so we can eat them in our salad. So Pinky Pepper and Sweet Pepper are picking red bud flowers. All those beautiful flowers are edible, and I hear that the young leaves are edible too, and even the small seed pods when they're green at first. Oh cool, bumblebee up there on that one, center screen. Alright, so they're gonna work on getting some of these, and I'm gonna get some other wild edibles. Thanks for your help. Look at that, helping feed your family again with the same meal, huh child? As always, by way of reminder, I'm not giving nutritional or dietary advice. I'm just sharing a meal with you guys that we're preparing for our family. And this chickweed here, I always loved as a base for a salad. It's getting a little stringy. It's a little late in its season, but I'm gonna find some of the better stuff and I'm gonna make this be the base. So we're gonna have some chickweed, we're gonna have some chives and some scapes, we're gonna have some red bud flowers, and I'm gonna look around here and maybe get some purple dead nettle. I'll have to see what else is here. The more I see, the more I like. Maybe some curly dock. But with stuff like this, what I find is it's always best to take these and chop them super fine. Just chop them up, chop them up, chop them up, chop them up, and then mix them in really good. Then you get a nice blend of flavorings, and really it's just going to be a dry salad. We're not having any dressing, so I'm hoping that the fish, I'll shred that up pretty thinly too, into small pieces, and I'm thinking that hopefully the seasoning, the flavor, and then also the grease from the fish will kind of make this what we need it to be a good meal. So, I mean, a lot of stuff behind me here is edible. I'm gonna get my bowl going, and then I'll dice it all up real fine, and we'll see what we're working with. Because there's so many of us, I definitely wanted a big base of this chickweed. Tucked down in the one side, there is a bunch of purple dead nettle. And then I got just a handful of some creeping Charlie. It's very pungent, so if I dice it fine and mix it in there, it should be pretty good. But a lot of people don't like chickweed later in the year, kind of late in the spring here, because it gets so stringy. But if I'm dicing it very fine, it's just going to be in tiny little sections. And I'm thinking it'll work out pretty good. Some of the bigger stems I may leave behind, but I'll dice up a lot of these little leaves and stuff, and we'll see if we can't make a hearty enough base to add that fish too. I'm looking forward to this. So I believe at this point we've gathered our resources. The fish should be ready. We've got our stuff for our salad base. Some people are sneaking things early. You can eat it. Some people are playing with lizards. Some people caught fish. And we look ready. Well, from your shirt, I would say you were helping the girls make bagels with that shirt and got flour all over it. But what do you got in your pocket there, bugger?
A lizard.
A lizard. An eastern fence lizard, also known as a prairie lizard?
Yeah.
Yep. Do you think that one is a male or a female, a boy or a girl? A female? Let me see. Yeah, I'd believe that. Very good, bugger. Is that your friend?
Yeah.
And when you're done, it'll run away and eat bugs?
No.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
That's our friend. And if we let it go, we can see it later, right?
Yeah.
Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Oh, those are looking pretty good. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, yeah. This is going to be good, I think. And some of this, you know, cooking fish on a fire is not an experiment, but seasoning them this way with the chives and the lemon balm inside them, that's an experiment. I've never done that before. And if it works, I plan on doing it again. Oh, that is beautiful. And this is all small. I chopped those chives. Like I said, I think one of the keys is just making things small, mixing them up really good. And like I said, hopefully, rather than being rather dry with all these ingredients with no dressing, kind of the grease and stuff from the fish will be a good kind of seasoning that'll be able to work its way through. That is cool. I'm looking forward. If this gives it a good lemon flavor, that's going to be amazing. I'm excited. Tip or even like these scapes, I cut them down the center twice. So I pretty much turned them into quarters. This is only 2, but it looks like a lot more than 2 here. Because I just cut them lengthwise a couple times. And then what I'll do is hit them with these scissors and just snip them all the way down. And they'll be 1/4 of the size as if I just diced them or sliced them all the way down the length of them. So that should help and make things a little easier for kids too. I realize I didn't give you guys a good look at all the plants I was dealing with, but this one here is purple dead nettle. Looks a lot like henbit. It's a square-stemmed member of the mint family, and the leaves are edible, and the purple tops are even kind of sweet sometimes. The flowers are definitely tasty, so I'm just going to dice these up really fine and put them in there. But you can use these a variety of ways, and they're pretty easy to come by and can be used in salads like we are. Or some people will cook them or make a pesto, maybe add them to a soup. But we're just going to dice them really fine and use them up. But beautiful and tasty. And like I said, now is a good time to learn about these things because they taste better than starvation. Oh, it's dripping out of there. Boy, they're looking pretty good. Or a lot of the flavor and the seasoning, it's very pungent smelling, is going to come in. And then the kind of wet, juicy crunch and the base of the salad is going to come from that chickweed. This is all pretty fine, and I'll actually, once I get the whole thing together, just run scissors through it a bit like this, making it all finer. But we'll do this, add the chickweed, add the fish, and then we'll put the red bud flowers on as a garnish at the end. You can already see some color coming into here, but those red buds will really make it pop. Yeah, those will definitely be ready. I'm gonna spread out that fire. They're still dripping and juicy. That meat seems excellent. I'm just wondering about the flavor. So I'm gonna spread out the stuff underneath a little bit. Let it die down a little. Obviously got a bit of flame right now. Let's check this other stuff. Here's what this looks like. And I might dice it just a little finer. And you got to remember too, this may not look like a bunch. I mean, that's one big handful there. Maybe got 3 big handfuls. But this is all very healthy, very nutrient rich, very fresh, and very local. A lot of it came probably less than a 5-mile radius, all of it, including the fish. So incredible to think about, a lot off our own land. I'm looking forward. I see all the different flavors in here. I'm looking forward to how that's going to taste, and we'll see how that fish went too. And this gets to go to the chickens. We could either give it to the chickens and ducks or give it to the compost. I'm going to give it to the chickens though, but nothing will be wasted. You all ready? Rain down greens. Look at how happy they are. You can see they keep their pen picked pretty clean. And there are times we let them out in the pastures and things like that. We're just letting the new chickens free range at the moment. But you look at the ducks pen, you see a lot more green, right ducks? And here they go. Thanks for helping, chickens and guineas. So one thing to think about too is if I just threw those down on a plate, gave everybody one or little kids part of one, and put a little bit of dressing on this, everyone would be eating it, no problem. But we're going to bail on the dressing. We're trying to go 100% natural. I'm going to get these pulled off, and we're going to see how this meat got flavored. Honestly, I was going to head in the house to do this. I only made it a couple steps away because I could smell it. I could really smell that. So I'll take care of preparing this for the family. Taking off this skin, taking off the bones. This will be chicken food there. But if I go in here, that is tasty meat. Can't say at the moment I do taste some of the lemon though. Oh, this could have worked good. Let's find out. This here is the leftovers from cleaning the fish. By leaving the scales on, it was a little easier to just pull the sides off and then scrape the meat off of it. And now the chickens get a tasty treat. That's a tasty treat for your chickens. And this here is the meat. So we're going to add the meat. There shouldn't be too many scales or bones in there. Let's go mix in that meat. And once we get that good and mixed up, and I was thinking maybe it'll even kind of work its way in there like, I don't know, almost like a chicken salad type thing. But we'll see. I'll mix this in there, and then I'll add those red buds, and then we'll be ready to go. Alright guys, so I got some portions of this. Now is the time where we find out if it worked. Kids, this is 100% raw salad. Pass them down. It came from the woods, from the lake, from the garden, from the trees. A number of you played a role in making this work. And we're just going to see if you guys would eat that whole thing or not. Father God, we thank you and praise you for this food, for your provision for our family. We thank you for the nutrients that are within here and for everything good that it can provide for our bodies. We pray that for those of us who are able to eat and enjoy this, that it would nourish us. And we praise you for all that you provide. Amen.
Amen. Was it good? Yeah.
So, there's a big mixture of stuff in here, kids. It tastes like a salad. I mean, I can imagine it with a little Italian dressing, or French dressing, or Western dressing, or Catalina, or ranch.
Papa, I don't see any dead nettle.
I might have had one little bone. There is some dead nettle in there.
Oh.
It'll look like this probably.
Yeah, I just talked to him right now. That's not dead nettle.
I like it. That's good.
Watch for little bones.
Okay.
And one thing that I did, guys, for kind of a trick here to make this have a better chance of success is this family was involved. Okay, they played a role in this. They have a connection to this meal. They have a vested interest in the success of this meal. They picked these red bud flowers. They helped catch these fish. Helped clean the fish. They had a role that they played, and that's one thing a lot of people miss out on these days with fast food or grocery stores, is they really don't have a connection to their food.
Go.
Whose bowl's empty?
I'm almost done.
Monster truck finished. Red peppers coming up quickly. How you doing, Mama?
Pretty good.
Almost in. Oh yeah, he's almost done.
Tastes good.
I'll eat that again.
It's a fun mix.
Sweet pepper's done. I think tomorrow for lunch, I've got some of this left. We'll have some dressing and we'll enjoy it. And it'll be on a different level because it'll be a more salad tasting. Guys, we have now half the family. We have a 50% completion of this family of 8. Is she helping you?
He's about done.
It's a little bit, yeah. Darling, we could add some
She's
cranberries.
helping.
We could add some cranberries to this, a few nuts tomorrow.
And that's the thing too, guys. Once you incorporate other things, like some condiments, or you incorporate what your garden has, you put some tomatoes and cucumbers and sweet peppers in here, it's on a whole different level. It's much more salad-y, kind of what we've traditionally become accustomed to. But to me, to be able to do this, you know, if we were running around in the woods, and I can catch fish barehanded, and we can start fires with, you know, magnifying glasses, or maybe we could try some rubbing. We definitely got some magnesium sticks. You know, as long as we could have fish and fire, we could do this. And if we needed to, we could just live off of those wild edibles too. It may not be the most like, oh, this is awesome, I want to eat it every day. Anyone feel that way? Okay, nobody feels that way. But raise your hand if you actually finished your bowl. Okay, those two are still trying. But they've actually finished their bowls. They did it. They ate a good portion. It was like 3 heaping forkfuls that I put in those bowls. So, hope you guys appreciate that. Now is the time, like I said, if I have this information in my head now, if they're accustomed to it now, when we get to later, if we ever need this information, we've got it and we're able to use it and apply it. So hopefully that's some good encouragement for some of you guys out there. As I mentioned in the last video, it's all in how you raise them too. But this is a time, whereas we're in our mid-30s, we're learning some of this stuff. But these children are growing up knowing this and learning this stuff and having a taste for it. You know, they can identify this stuff. As soon as the greenbrier comes in and starts growing, they'll bring me shopping bags full and say, Dad, can we have this for dinner? So we absolutely love it. I was successful. I'm surprised that everyone ate it, guys. I had, look at that stack of empty bowls. Pass it on down.
I'm done.
Yeah, you're done. High five.
Did you like
And
it?
you're covered in ashes from the fire too. Guys, 100% success rate, 100% completely wild salad, okay? The only seasoning was the seasoning from the wild, so know your area. Know what's on your property, know what's nearby, know how to get fish out of the lake, know how to forage, know how to identify wild plants, and you too, worst case scenario, can be eating great. And this is, like I said, super nutrient rich. A lot of minerals and vitamins and great things for our bodies. So what do you guys say?
Thank you. Thank you.
Pepper's out.
Pepper out.
Pepper family out. Can we try it one more time,
Pepper
Dad?
out.
Can we try it one more time? Pepper family out?
One more time.
Okay. We're going to say pepper family out.
Here,
Okay,
I'll do
guys?
little fingers down here. Ready?
David, face the
Watch
camera
my
the other
fingers.
way.
When I hit 3, you guys
Face
say
that way.
Pepper family out.
Okay.
From the Abundant Harvest Homestead.
Pepper
family out.
Pepper family out.
What'd you say?
The greenbrier is ready.
Well, the greenbrier is starting to come in. Can I have one?
Yeah.
All right. You want one, child? So greenbrier gets to be a real thorny guy later in the year. It's like the razor wire of the woods. Greenbrier, sawbrier. But if you get it when it's soft, the whole thing is edible. And it reminds me kind of like shooting up like asparagus and kind of tasting a little bit like peas or something. Yeah. Oh, I missed to leave. That brings back memories. We didn't know about that. We didn't really have it up in Wisconsin. But we've got it down here and we've learned to love it. And we don't need it on our property as far as razor wire to cut your face up in the middle of the night when you're running through the woods or something. So what do?
Cut it down.
Cut it down, and when it grows back, we eat it. You'll be seeing that in some meals soon enough. Thanks, child.